right after a spot of quizzing.
Here are the 9 contestants preparing for today's show. Only one of them will win up to £10,000. The others will leave with nothing when voted off as the weakest link.
Welcome to the weakest link. Any of the 9 people in the studio here today could win up to £10,000. They've only just met. To get prize money, they'll have to work together. However, 8 will leave with nothing. As round by round we lose the player voted the weakest link. Let's meet the team.
I'm Andy, I'm 23, I'm from the Wirral, and I'm a farming volunteer.
I'm Terry, I'm 63, from Nottingham. I'm a retired administrator.
I'm Leighton, I'm 33, from Hawley in Surrey, and I'm cabin crew.
I'm Sophie, I'm 23, from Derby, and I'm a shop supervisor.
I'm Gary, I'm 43, from Birmingham. I'm a graphic designer and cosmetics representative.
I'm Wendy, I'm 51, from Abbey Wood in South East London, and I'm a postal officer.
I'm Ruan, I'm 19, I'm from Saffron Walden in Essex, and I'm a parliamentary aide.
I'm Anya, I'm 38, from Darlington, and I'm a doctor.
I'm Tony, I'm 60, from Sowerby Ridge in Yorkshire, and I'm a business development manager.
Okay, just to remind you, in each round there's £1,000 to be won. The fastest way is to create a chain of 9 correct answers. Break the chain, and you lose all the money in that chain. Say blank before the question is asked and the money is safe. Round 1, 3 minutes on the clock. We'll start with the person whose name is first alphabetically. That's you, Andy. Let's play the weakest link. The first question is for £20. Start the clock. Andy, in landmarks, the ancient series of fortifications extending for hundreds of miles across Eastern Asia is popularly called the Great Wall of where?
China.
Correct. Terry. In alcoholic drinks, what B is the name of a beverage with types that include bitter, mild and lager?
Beer.
Correct. Leighton. In linguistics, which is the most widely spoken language in the United States of America?
Spanish.
English. Sophie, in expressions, the competitive struggle to maintain one's position at work or in society is known alliteratively as the rat what?
Pack.
Race. Gary, in technology, a screensaver is normally found on which piece of equipment, a computer or a car?
Computer.
Correct. Wendy. In cinema, the New Zealand-born actor who won an Oscar for his role in the 2000 film Gladiator is Russell who?
Crowe.
Correct. Ruan. In maths, which is the next number in the sequence 13, 15, 17?
19.
Correct. Anya. In politics, which word for a social gathering is also the term for a group that seeks election to government?
Party.
Correct. Tony. In London, the term that is commonly used as a name for the financial district is the square what? Furlong or mile?
Mile.
Correct. Andy, in the Gregorian calendar, what is the name of the 8th month of the year?
August.
Correct. Terry. At the roadside, a column often made of concrete or iron that supports a street light is called a lamp what?
Post.
Correct. Leighton.
Bank.
In history, which word precedes World War to give an alternative way of saying World War II?
Second.
Correct. Sophie. In the language of flowers, a gift of red roses is usually intended to signify what? Love or apathy?
Love.
Correct. Gary. When a person is whistling, which parts of their face are typically described as being pursed?
The lips.
Correct. Wendy. In the game that is known in the USA as tic-tac-toe, which mark should be made by the opponent of a player who writes a naught?
X.
I'll accept. Ruan. In an office, what is the name for the small pieces of metal that must be forced by a device through paper in order to hold several sheets together?
A staple.
Correct. Tanya. In confectionery, what pea is the name of the fruit closely related to the apple that is the basis of traditional boiled sweets known as drops?
Pear. Pear.
Correct. Tony. In 1980s advertising, the rhyme and slogan used by a leading manufacturer of electrical goods was the appliance of what?
Science.
Correct.
Bank.
Andy, in
Bank.
cricket, in the abbreviation L. Time's up, you won £950. You actually had a chain of 14 correct answers. But who signed up to the Human Wrongs Act? Who probably finds Jeremy Kyle intellectually challenging? Time to vote off. The weakest link.
The first strongest link is Anya. According to the statistics, the weakest link is Sophie. But who will be the first to take the walk of shame?
Voting over. It's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Sophie.
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 Leighton.
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 Sophie.
Wendy.
Leighton.
We have a tie team. Sophie, Leighton, 4 votes each. Leighton, what do you do?
I'm cabin crew.
Are you? Who with?
A major airline at Heathrow.
Put your board down. What flights do you do?
I did transatlantic for 13 years.
Did you?
I did.
Were you in first?
Mainly business.
Oh, not good enough for first.
Not trained.
So how come you're not trained for first class?
Because you need extra training.
Like what?
Silver service, and there's extra little touches we give in first
Oh,
class.
what touch could you give me in first class?
Pyjamas, slippers.
Well, how much training do you need to give me a pair of pyjamas? Eh? And where are the exits?
At the forward, over wings, and behind.
Put your board up. Why Sophie?
She was the only other person to get a question wrong.
What do you do, Sophie?
I work in retail.
Put your board down. Okay, hold your arms out. Okay, if I came into your shop and I had a role in Midsummer Night's Dream, would you be the person to ask?
You could ask me and I'd try and help you find what you were looking for.
Put your board up. What's that dress called?
It's just like a floaty sleeved batwing dress.
So you could use it if you were Batman?
Maybe. If Batman liked pink.
Well, Leighton might like it.
Maybe.
Why Leighton?
Because he got a question wrong.
When the vote's tied, the strongest link has to cast the deciding vote. The strongest link was Anya.
Ooh.
Where are you from?
I'm from Germany, Anne.
What's you doing here?
I'm ENT doctor in the northeast in the NHS hospital.
Do you have ways of making people better?
Usually, yes.
You're the strongest link and you have a choice between Sophie or Leighton. Who would you like to get rid of?
Underground said Leighton banked the most money. I'm afraid it would have to be Sophie. Sorry, mate.
Sophie, you are the weakest link. Bye.
It's a shame to be the first person voted off the weakest link, but someone had to be it, and unfortunately this time it was me.
Round 2 in the bank, £950. We're now taking 10 seconds off your time. We'll start the strongest link from the last round. That's Dr. Anya. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Anya, in the words of a proverb, through his stomach is the way to a man's what?
Heart.
Correct, Tony. In families, a boy called Zachary, born to a surrogate mother on Christmas Day 2010, is now the son of David Furnish and which entertainer?
Elton John.
Correct. Andy, in the animal kingdom, which word meaning to move through the air, especially using wings, is also the name of a type of insect?
Fly.
Correct, Terry. In Irish legend, the treasure buried by leprechauns at the end of the rainbow is known as a crock of what?
Gold.
Correct, Leighton.
Bank.
In geography, what's the name of the longest river in South America that drains the vast rainforest basin?
Pass.
Amazon. Gary, in TV, the US drama series Knots Landing was a spin-off from which other soap opera set in Texas?
Pass.
Dallas. Wendy. In biology, the medicinal